welcome to another week in life. I'm gonna hopefully show you guys some cool things this week. Hopefully, we'll see. So I'm on the second week of my selective rotation. Kind of keeping those under wraps just so you guys can kind of see. I'm really open to what I'm choosing as a specialty. I have a first choice, but then really open, so we never know what's gonna happen. So I wanted everybody to kind of be surprised. But I went to clinic this morning somewhere around 9. It's already 11, and I'm out. And I came to the gym to get a workout in, and then probably go home and be able to get a lot of things done. So just wanted to show you guys this week. Should be some interesting things that happen, hopefully. If not, then you just get to experience a kind of how I study. That'll probably be the video that comes out before this one. So yeah, see you guys later. All right, y'all, got a good workout in. It's now like 3 o'clock. I've been here for a little bit. Got some lunch, and now it's time to study. So it's gonna be me and some Anki cards. I got a lot to make up from the weekend. I think I'm supposed to be speaking at a webinar, web conference this afternoon or this evening. I'll kind of show you all a little bit of that, I guess. But other than that, it's just gonna be studying. So yeah, let me get back to these Anki cards. Finished all my cards. Whatever Anki's little algorithm is, it turned out not to be the, wait a minute, how many did I do? Never mind, I lied. So that was what I did. 544, about, I think times out. It took about 2 hours total. I was just having to like get caught up from the weekend of not doing anything. So pancakes had to get ate. The pancakes had to get whatever AMD said, but that pancakes must be eaten. So like I said, it's 4:15 right now. Little talk I'm supposed to be doing is like 5. So I'm gonna find something to do, something productive, and some emails or something. But so this is the great part. If there is any sort of silver lining in this virtual pandemic, all of your meetings and class engagements where you have to be dressed a certain way. Well, now I just got to be dressed a certain way in what you can see. So that means business up top, and y'all can't see, but party down below. Basketball shorts, sweatpants, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But that's the great thing. So I'm gonna hop on and I'll give y'all some highlights of what was discussed. So yeah, my advice for students coming into medical school, and I kind of gave you guys some last summer. We used to do our mentor moments, but as you sit here now, I just kind of think of the things that helped me be successful were the people on this call and thinking about the experiences I had in getting to medical school and learning from my mistakes and building on what I created in that Summer Institute program. So coming in through a pipeline program, you can feel like you still are, at the bottom of the totem pole looking up and having to try to still prove yourself as a student. But I looked at it very much so differently. I looked at it as, I had a connection with the admissions office, with the diversity team. I had all the support I needed. I had friends. I came in with 10 other people who had been through the similar experience. And given the fact that I had to work so hard to get to Summer Institute and then to work so hard to get from Summer Institute to medical school, I said, I've done challenges before. So if this is going to be another challenge, I'm going to use the preparation that I know I've done before and continue to press on in that way. And once I got to medical school, it was just always about, maintaining who I was. Just like Bobby said, I enjoyed working out, so I did so. I enjoy making people laugh, so I do so. And I think part of medical school is continuing to not lose yourself and constantly drawing from the motivation of that this challenge, you may have not done it before, but you've done something like it before. So if you can keep that mindset, then that can drive you through anything that you'll see in medical school. The knowledge is gonna come, like, the constant information that feels like you're drowning, like that will happen, but that goes for every student. That's not just you. And when you have that perspective, that if the person beside you can do it, then you can do it as well. So lean on you guys. You came in together. You have other students that you have us. So just kind of drawing from those experiences and constantly believing in yourself will give you all the success that you need from a mentality standpoint to do well in medical school. All right, off the call. Hope y'all enjoyed that, trying to inspire some new leaders. But going for a run now. I like to try to run 3 to 4 days a week, working between like 2-3 miles usually, just because it's harder for me to do cardio in the gym. I do a little bit to start and then try to just keep my heart rate above 100 throughout. But I really enjoy like keeping cardiovascular health going, so I'd rather do my jogs like in the neighborhood. So go for a run and be back soon. All right, just got done with the run. Did a quick 2 miles. I'll be honest and say I'm out of shape, and I don't know how it happened. Over the summer with the quarantine workouts, at home, it was good. 3 miles was nothing, getting up to 4. And all of a sudden, clinic start saying, oh, I'll take a day in between, and just like can't get back to the speed. The muscle aches start to happen more. So trying to get back right, both in the kitchen. Try to show y'all what I'm eating for dinner tonight. But both in the kitchen and like more intensity with the workouts. So dinner tonight, we got some salmon, we got some kale, and got some seasonings here, nothing too crazy. So this is gonna be the meal. I know you're wondering, like, you don't eat no carbs? I do. Usually I would have something like a sweet potato or something like that, but I said I'm trying to eat right, but this is my carb / dessert, See if I can get this open. If y'all ain't got a Duck Donuts near y'all, you are missing out. Ugh. So one of these babies will be my carb / dessert. We're gonna turn this into this. All right, and here's the finished product. The one thing I didn't show you guys is I usually put some sort of sauce. I don't even know what this is. I think it's like Kentucky bourbon, but just a glaze. Other times I'll use like a sugar-free barbecue sauce. So that's that, and looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm back home. I'm gonna change before I go to the gym, pick up my watch. But I guess I'll take this time to kind of explain kind of the normal day-to-day on this rotation I'm on. So the last time I had a video, I was doing a one elective rotation. This time I'm on my second one. In between, I was doing outpatient internal medicine. I guess I'll recap internal medicine. It was basically a clinic. It was on the hospital site, but it was an outpatient clinic. And I saw a lot of hypertension, diabetes, saw some interesting things. A couple interesting cases. Matter of fact, my attending was like, you're getting to see all the interesting stuff. Saw, a rash, which, I'm trying to remember, what was the name? I don't forget the exact name for it, but it was a rash complicated from like chronic venous insufficiency. So you basically have, blood pooling in the legs a little bit, and usually that creates some skin changes there, but it usually stays in the legs. But he had a rash that went like all the way up his leg into his back. So he basically had sort of like a skin reaction stemming from that. And it was really odd. We couldn't figure it out when it came through. Another one was a lady who fell while doing some exercise, had a subdural hematoma. So that was interesting to see. And we had a patient come in for like a checkup thing, but actually had like active low platelets and kind of the petechiae, which is little kind of, you can see the red spots on their arm where the platelets are like actively bleeding within the capillaries. So that was that. It was really good. I'm not completely interested in like internal medicine per se. You know what I mean? I didn't come into medical school or come into third year saying I would do it, but I did enjoy the outpatient experience. All the residents were great. They taught me a lot. So I wouldn't rule it off the table. And now in my second selective or elective, depending on what you call it at your school, So my first one was a surgical one. I'll give you that. It was surgical. I was in the operating room. Um, but this one is a non-surgical rotation, and I'm at a rehab hospital. That's a little bit of a hint. So I'm at a rehab hospital where a lot of the patient population is individuals who are dealing with effects after a stroke or a major spinal cord injury. We do a lot with the management of all of their care and therapy that happens after that. So, but a typical day, I'm with a fourth year and then obviously an attending. But a typical day looks like we go in, talk with the physician, do some rounding to see how everything went, and then we'll do meetings to kind of check in on the progress of all the patients. And really, our attending is great. She kind of lets us go unless she has like a clinic. We saw a pump refill. It's mainly for patients with kind of some spasm in their legs or myoclonus or something like that, to where they're always having constant contraction of their muscles that's uncontrolled in the legs. They do a baclofen pump, which they basically take the pump and put it underneath the skin in the stomach, and then put lines around to the spinal cord to basically put muscle relaxer to help with that spasm that's going on in the lower extremity. So I saw that, and then other than that, it's been really good. Like I say, I'm getting there about 8:30 and being able to leave before 1. So it gives me a lot of time to do some things, get some studying done. I'm a really involved student, so I guess in this video I'll kind of touch on that. So I serve on a lot of committees. I'm just really passionate about the whole student experience. So I'm currently student council president for our college. I serve on the admissions committee and our accreditation committee. Do a lot with our diversity and kind of recruiting students. So you'll see me talk about things, but just know, like, if it's something I'm doing on web calls or something like that, I'm just truly an involved student, and it's what I enjoy doing. So off to the gym, we're gonna change, and off to the gym we go. How you doing?
Hey. You're good.
All right.
And that causes the glucose to be controlled. If those pendulum spikes weren't there, the glucose would just rise and go up and stay up. What happens in diabetes is insulin insensitivity. The basal insulin that's there isn't enough to control blood sugar, so it has to go higher. And
We got dinner for tonight and lunch for tomorrow. A little quick 15 minutes. All my meals take about 15 minutes because I don't have time to waste. A little ground chicken with peppers. Got some broccoli right there. And then some quinoa seasoned with a little bit of teriyaki sauce on it. So, quick meals, still healthy. Keep it moving. I didn't get to actually vlog a lot today. I'm sorry. Today I thought it was gonna be an interesting day. It actually was an interesting day, and I just didn't get a chance to show you guys. My bad. But I promise to get better. So today I was visiting a prosthetic company. So on my rotation, they allow students to go and be with some, forgetting the word, what do they call them? Prosthetists, the people who make prosthetic legs and feet for amputees, and they do orthotics as well. So I was with them today, learned a lot of valuable information, just kind of understanding what all goes into a patient's process, from both injury to prosthesis and the rehab that goes in behind that. So that was really interesting. And from there, this is where I want to talk about, what my daily schedule looks like. I know that it may alter due to certain rotations, but I guess I'll kind of recap what's been going on this rotation and what my schedule, kind of study schedule routine has been, to make sure I'm able to prioritize the right things. So I mentioned earlier, I'm at a rehab hospital, and really it's been really good for hours in both learning. Due to like the internal medicine shelf being really large, a lot of you wrote questions on that. They advise for us to go ahead and try to knock out a lot of them. Hence why starting in the outpatient internal, most of our days were half days in clinic. So I would go in at like 8 or go in at 12 and be there till 12 or 4, and that gave me the rest of the day to be able to do things. And lucky for me, in my next selective, that's really been the hours. So for the past 2 weeks in the rehab hospital, the hours were basically, we get there at about 8:30, round on the patients who were there. And then there were meetings associated. So all in all, rounding will probably go from 9 until 10, 11, depending on how many people were in the hospital. And then if there was a meeting, the meeting will go from like 11 until, the meeting will go from like 10 until 11. And our preceptor was really good. She was like, I don't really have anything going on this afternoon. I know you guys have to study. So she kind of let us, be free to go study and everything. So that's really been my schedule. I've been out of the clinic around, I would say by about 1 o'clock every day. And from there, my goal for myself was, while I have the time, I'm going to work out and I'm going to study, and then I'm going to have the time in the evenings to myself. So I held myself to a somewhat rigid schedule of, when I got out of clinic, had my bag in the car, head down to campus gym, hit the gym. I only stay in the gym for an hour max, do that, and then come home. As soon as I get home, it's dedicated to study. So I come home. If I didn't get a chance to do Anki cards in the downtime in the hospital, then I finish my Anki cards. So when we were in the meetings and things weren't, pertaining to us as students, I was, on my phone, like doing the Anki cards, on my computer doing the Anki cards. So I get home, finish all the Anki cards, and then if I have time, I go ahead and do UWorld questions. So I set a schedule for myself to where I would finish all of my UWorld questions for the internal shelf with about 2 weeks to spare. So I basically just counted up all the questions that are going to be for the internal medicine shelf, and then divided that by how many days, put in rest days and all of that. And I'll show you guys. I'll probably link it right here so I can show you guys what it is. So I, like I said, took account of all the UWorld questions, or a rough estimate, and then counted out from the start of this rotation through internal medicine how many days I was going to be studying, my days off, and then put in how many questions I should do a day, what book I was using to reference, which was going to be Step Up to Medicine. And then I tried to get at Anki cards, but it just really didn't work out that way. So I started off doing about 45 questions a day, and then I tapered it off because I knew once I started internal, the days may be longer, and I'm doing like 20 questions a day. So after I get done with the Anki cards, I go ahead and do my 20 UWorld questions. And after that, I go over the wrongs, add the wrongs to the Anki deck for the next day, and then from there, if I'm able to do that prior to about 6 o'clock, then I go for a run in my apartment complex, and that's usually 1 mile, 2 miles, whatever. Go for the run, and the plan is basically when I get back from the run, it's for my personal time. That means, cooking dinner, or if I need to send emails, if I absolutely have nothing to do and nobody to contact, then I'll just watch TV. And while I'm watching TV, that's time to catch up with friends, family, stuff like that. And it gives me a buffer so that just in case I don't get done with my school stuff, I'm able to go ahead and finish that up before bed. And I'm typically getting to sleep around 11 o'clock to midnight, and then waking up about 6:37. So this has been a really good time to just kind of get my feet up under me as a clinical student. Now it's going to change next week when internal, I know, but this has been a good time to just adjust to, clinic schedule, to home, to, still being a student, get your studying in. And one strategy that really helped me was, after I took my step exam, I didn't exactly score what I wanted to score, and I wasn't going to be beat twice looking towards step 2. So I went ahead and just started studying, and that helped me just a little bit a day. So for you guys who have goals, all of us have weaknesses. I've never been the best science student, and I've always had to work harder. So for the MCAT, same thing. And now towards these step exams, I just realized you got to put that work in a little bit every day. So I encourage you guys to do that. But like I said, just want to catch you guys up on what's been my schedule. If you want to know more or like specifics, I'm definitely going to do a video about study strategies, like exactly what I do, and kind of work through what things look like. But that's kind of the overview of what I do with my days, how this rotation has gone. Done with that. Luckily, during the elective block that we have is coupled with internal medicine, so I don't have a shelf exam. I've just been studying for the internal medicine shelf exam, which will be after my next rotation, which is internal medicine, and that shelf will be in September. So yeah, free weekend. Right now, I'm gonna, you know the vibes, head to the gym, and then off to Rock Hill to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday with her that I mentioned with earlier in the week. But before I get there, I want y'all to notice your boy got cut up, and let's check this wave check real quick. Give y'all some light on that. Stay crispy. All right, guys, so I made it. You know, she's happy to have me now. Okay, be that way. Happy made it. We spent the day dodging rain, getting food, getting our favorite thing, cheesecake. So that's the end of the week. Thank you guys for tagging along. But look forward. Obviously, we're dressed alike. Got our Hope Dealer shirts. You know, shout out to Tadian for that. If you, I'll put the link in the description so that you guys can get one. But be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and be on the lookout for our video next week.
So I was already a little skeptic about Mr. Chad here. I heard girls, talk about him a little bit, how, he was fine and he could sing and all this. So I assumed, that you was out here in these streets. And I ain't really want no parts of that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just not how I roll.
Hallelujah. Okay, oh, thank you, Lord. Let the church say yeah. Yeah.
No.
Hallelujah. We will be in these shirts talking about our relationship and what it's like to be, with me. Greatness.
I feel like... Gosh, I'm so sick of you.
No.
You're doing the most.
All right. As AtlastheMD student, please don't forget the student. See y'all next week. She'll be there too.